How does it compare when you see a listing online and then you see it in real life? Like, what's the difference? Are they hiding something? Are those 4 listing pics you see, are they just too good to be true? Are they concealing something? What's the deal there? Today we're going to dive into a real life example of a property I drove by and drove through and scoped out, and then the listing online. And then we're going to dig into that and see how they compare and see if it's an example of dishonesty or something different. So let's get started. Here we are at 2909 Northwest 31st Street, and we're going to do a live drive-by of a listing and see how they stack up. This is the upside and perhaps the downside of the location. That is May Avenue and Northwest 21st. This is, if my memory serves me correctly, a 23 unit. And let's do a quick drive-by on the road. So it's got a turn in right there. You got some pock marks and some just normal wear and tear in your driveway. And so concrete is that silent killer. You do have a walk-down basement. You see some windows in the basement, but from the listing description, I believe that that is not finished. So it looks like the paint has been done pretty recently, and your siding is in decent shape. You've got a dumpster at the front. It's a pretty efficient way to do your parking. Show you this. These windows are seemingly builder grade white. Yeah, somebody had a rough time there. Either vomit or spit. So you got seemingly plenty of parking. Got newer style of windows. They're white. I mean, these look like metal. I don't really want to go tap on them, but separate electric meters. You got your mail slots in the back. One of the things you want to look for is large signs of settling. Also notices on the doors. So you got kind of a a congregated solicitation area here, and then a ton of windows there. Be interesting to know how the inside layout of that is. We've got at least one broken down car in the back. It's not so bad, I guess. And then lots of meters. So if it's all electric, that's really nice. If it's not, that's a good way to optimize that in the future. And here you've got, I believe, a downstairs on this building, and you've got 2 upstairs units. Seems like all inside heating and air. And the fresh paint really does go a long way. So I believe that we have over 2 spots per unit, and that's Hunter's Place. So let's take a look at this listing on paper. But first, let me show you my favorite thing. This is one of the coolest buildings in the area. It's an old drive-through laundromat that someone is renovating right now. And you are on North May in a minute. Literally a minute. Look at it. And then here, that's the highway, the interstate, I-44 curves around, Lowe's. That's 23rd Street, and everything like Shepherd's Historic is this way, Cleveland UCD and the University of Central Oklahoma. Oklahoma City University is this way. And this is a great place to be. Very centrally located, very convenient. That's what we're looking at. All right. That's all for this one. Let's look at it on paper. Here we go. Let's look at this online. Let's see the listing, see how it stacks up against what we observed in our drive-by. And a drive-by is not an inspection, but it's great to get some eyeballs on a property and see how it stacks up against an online listing. Because, man oh man, is there often a difference between what someone shows and what you observe. So I would say overall that we're looking pretty similar. Yeah. I mean, obviously don't have any additional understanding of it, but I would say that the siding looked better in person. I did not notice this back patio, so that might be gone now. Or is that in the front? That looks like it was in the front. I probably drove by it and I was talking to you instead of looking, but yeah, looks pretty much through the four pictures we have, looks pretty much like we saw. So this is listed for $1.1 million. It is a 23 unit property. And then this is the description. Property highlights: 23 1 and 2 bedroom units, 97% historic occupancy rate. This terrific 23 unit apartment community consists of 1 efficiency, 6 1 bed, 1 bath, 16 2 bed, 1.5 bath units. The roof was replaced in 2018 with a TPO rubber roof, and the exteriors received new paint in 2020. The property has enjoyed high occupancy rates, all units individually metered for electricity, which we observed when we were there. There is an on-site laundry room, and the basement offers the ability to add an additional 6 1-bed, 1-bath units. All units have separate hot water tank, central heat and air, carpet and tile floorings, and walk-in closets. There are numerous retail centers, grocers, restaurants, all within short walking distance to the complex. There's an opportunity for rent increases, as many of these units are renting well below market rates, or below market rates. So there we have it. So we have the same level of understanding from physically seeing it without getting inside as we do from just this basic listing. But I would say that overall, what you want to look for in commercial real estate, especially if you're out of state, out of area, out of country, is how do you match what is reported online with what's reality? Because you would go into this if you were negotiating directly with the listing agent, which is all too common in commercial real estate, then you would go into this with an exterior understanding. You would go into this not having laid eyes on the inside and with whatever they provide in their OM, which let's open that up right now. So you really want to lean into the financials and the real numbers of what they've operated off of over the last few years. And since this, I believe, has been a long-term buy and hold owner, we should have some good long-term numbers. And we do have some interior pictures here in the offering memorandum, so that's good. So just you want to make sure that what you observe and what is evidenced in the operating numbers are coherent. All in all, this location is solid. I would estimate that it would perform well. Your tenant class is going to be, well, I've operated a few rental properties in the area, and we have a lot of, we'll say, working class tenants, and I would expect the same here. And looks like we've actually got a rent roll from 2020 here, which is nice. Man, I like this. I like that they're leading out in transparency here. So cool. Looks like we've got everything we need to do our initial underwriting, and then when you are done with your underwriting, you have an understanding of, are we going to offer based on the cap rate? Are you going to offer based on something else? This doesn't seem to be a value add play. It is one that's strategic management and continuing to push rents up to the full market rate will be key. And there is a value add component with the potential to add some units in the basement, but you just really have to look at that and make sure that your permitting would actually allow that, because you don't want to go in there and create a liability through some unpermitted work. So, all right, that's all for now. Let's do this again sometime soon and dive a little deeper. All right, thanks for joining me today. This has been a dive into one example of a commercial real estate listing here in Oklahoma City. It might make a good investment for someone, but that's yet to be seen. But what is true is that we're going to keep digging in, and we're going to add value, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. So if you would subscribe to this channel, we want you to be part of the fun. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, but subscribe and join our fun. We're going to keep coming out. We're going to keep adding value, exploring new topics. We're going to do some random investments, reviews and tips and tricks, and we're going to have a good time with it. So subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.